Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're unraveling the insights from The Longevity Paradox by Stephen R. Gundry, MD. Are you feeling older despite the fact your years are young? Have you tried everything you can to stop the ticking clock of aging? Are you sure you've tried everything? Most people don't realize that the secret to youth is actually in your gut. The longevity paradox is a fast track towards overall health and well-being and a longer life. No more looking in the mirror and wondering where the years are going. No more feeling bloated and lacking energy. Following the advice in the longevity paradox will undoubtedly allow you to see many more years to come and battle several conditions resulting from a traditional Western diet. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Don't be shy to smash that like button if you discover something valuable. Let's grow and succeed together. Let's start. Believe it or not, your genes are not your genes. Specifically, the answer to a long life goes way back to the past, around 3 billion years ago. Once upon a time, the world, or whatever it was in those days, was inhabited by simple bacteria and cells that could only survive without oxygen. When oxygen was added to the mix, they shriveled up and died. Instead of the oxygen that we breathe today, these cells loved a gas that is actually highly toxic, called hydrogen sulfide. Of course, oxygen levels increased, and to survive, they needed to act fast. So, they evolved into something called prokaryotes. Why are we telling you this? Bear with us. Prokaryotes needed to pass on their DNA to survive. They protected their future, which was sure to be bleak, thanks to the rising oxygen levels, by hopping inside another organism and making a cozy home for themselves. A deal was made. The bacteria and cells offered energy and vital life functions in exchange for a home. That home is your body, and those prokaryotes are the bacteria that live within you, specifically within your gut. The cells that made that deal still live within us today, and they are now called mitochondria. The food you eat and the oxygen you breathe are converted into energy by these mitochondria, basically allowing you to survive. What does this have to do with your genes? Well, the genes within you aren't yours. They belong to the mitochondria, which live within your microbiome, i.e., your bacterial makeup. A massive 90% of your cells aren't human. They belong to various bacteria and fungi within you. In addition, 99% of the genes within your body belong to these cells too. All of this means that if you want to look after yourself, you need to look after the genes that aren't specifically yours, i.e., you need to stop looking after that tiny 1% and look after the alien 99%. The longevity paradox teaches you exactly what to do to stay healthy and have that longer life you aim for. Be the perfect host to your microbiome. Stephen Gundry refers to the good bacteria within your gut as your gut buddies. These are necessary for the smooth functioning of most systems within your body, and provided you look after your microbiome, you'll have a healthier and longer life. If you neglect it or allow the harmful bacteria to set up home without paying rent, you'll suffer from many different conditions and probably have a shorter life as a result. If you want to look after your body and prolong your life, you need to start living for your microbiome. The problem is most Western diets don't support that and instead cater to the bad guys. Most of us look towards our parents and expect to age in pretty much the same way. Stephen Gundry thought he would age precisely like his father, and for a short while, he found himself following the same path. He realized that because they had the same habits and lived in the same kind of environment, this shaped both their holobiomes and the genes of the bacteria within the holobiome, the entire bodily bacterial system. These were the things that were aging, not their actual human genes. You don't have to go down the same route as anyone else. You can make healthy changes to your lifestyle and grab the benefits pretty quickly for yourself. Did you know? The gut contains 10 times the number of microbial cells than anywhere else in the body and, if weighed, would be around 2 kilograms. Eat for your gut buddies and watch life change for the better. Your gut buddies are not just sitting there doing nothing. They are busy 24 hours a day at work. They don't get time off. They keep your immune system ticking and your hormones releasing the way they're supposed to. And they also help you digest food correctly so that the vitamins and minerals your body needs for overall health and well-being are delivered to where they need to go. You can eat the perfect diet, but if your microbiome isn't digesting it properly, you're not going to see the benefit. This all dates back to the first bacteria we talked about, the mitochondria, which made the ancient deal to look after you if you let it live within you. Your gut buddies and this first type of bacteria break down different nutrients in the food you eat and then convert it to energy for your body to use. Your gut buddies and your mitochondria were given to you by your mother at birth, and the stronger they are, the better you look after them, the more able they are to digest your food correctly and effectively. Aside from eating the right things, the single best thing you can do for your gut buddies is to avoid the things they don't like. For instance, you might think you're doing your body some good when taking antibiotics, but did you know that broad-spectrum antibiotics are massively destructive to your gut buddies? Stephen Gundry makes the fair point that these types of antibiotics have indeed saved many lives over the years, but they have also done a lot of damage that we cannot see with the naked eye. Antibiotics are the gut equivalent of a nuclear bomb. They take out everyone, good and bad, and leave nothing behind. Yes, that means your infection is gone, but your microbiome is devastated. What happens across the border? We've talked about looking after your gut buddies and kicking out the bad guys who refuse to pay rent, but there is something else to think about. A considerable part of your overall health and well-being, as well as how fast you age, is due to your gut buddies staying in their lane and not crossing over your intestinal border. When this happens, illness can quickly occur. When small pieces of cell walls, called lipopolysaccharides, or LPSs for short, cross over your intestinal border, it doesn't matter whether they have good intentions or not. Trouble will come your way, causing illness and aging. As Hippocrates said, all disease begins in the gut. He couldn't have said it more accurately. Inflammation is a natural bodily process that aims to kick out foreign invaders and protect the body from outside threats. The problem is that we're introducing threats into our bodies without needing to, leading to something Stephen Gundry calls inflammaging. Immune cells stand like soldiers along the intestinal border, keeping watch and checking for invaders on the horizon. Around 60% of your entire immune cell stock is in this area, and they decide what they will let through the gastrointestinal tract and what they won't. If the wrong types of bacteria make their way over the border, these cells start their high alert routine, and inflammation occurs as a result. When there are too many cytokines in your body for a prolonged period, you begin to experience chronic inflammation, which can lead to all manner of conditions, including Alzheimer's disease, cancer, autoimmune diseases, and diabetes. To avoid this response, you should cut lectins out of your diet, avoid taking NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and Advil, and try to eat more butyrates, a short-chain fatty acid your gut buddies love that helps strengthen the gut wall. The common myths of aging are leading us astray. Most of us think we will either die of cancer or heart disease, not the most cheerful of subjects, but that is what most of us believe. However, this isn't inevitable, as you can make yourself younger on the inside by looking after your gut buddies, which then radiates to the outside. In the case of heart disease, this is an autoimmune condition. It's a fallacy that your heart gets weaker as you get older. The more likely scenario is that you have been overeating animal protein, and there is a large amount of something called NOI5AC in your blood vessels, which is super aging you. The human body doesn't produce this protein, so your immune system senses a foreign invader and sends inflammation your way when it is introduced. You can't even blame illness and aging on cholesterol, as many studies have shown no real connection between heart disease and cholesterol. Instead, it's more about triglycerides, which are increased with the amount of sugar or simple starch you consume. We don't yet have a cure for cancer, but we do know that cancer follows the same process of aging. It all stems back to problems with the gut. If you want to reduce your cancer development risk significantly, make sure you eat foods containing exogenous ketones, such as MCT oil, solid coconut oil, red palm oil, and nuts that come from trees, especially macadamia nuts, pistachios, pine nuts, chestnuts, hazelnuts, and walnuts. Foods that make your gut buddies happy and sad. The longevity paradox aims to feed your gut buddies the things they like to help build up a robust microbiome, fooling your body into thinking that you're fasting so that autophagy begins, strengthening, thickening the gut lining. The best foods for your gut buddies are prebiotic foods, fruits that are low in sugars, healthy types of fats, dairy alternatives, millet, Coffee or coffee fruit. Extra dark chocolate. Nut milk chocolate. Green tea. Conversely, the foods your gut buddies hate with a capital H are simple starches and sugars. Sugar substitute products. Conventional types of dairy products, which contain casein L and encourage autoimmune responses. Unhealthy fats. The longevity paradox is easy to follow and consists of days when you mimic the effects of fasting. This will be 5 consecutive days at the beginning of every month when you will eat 900 calories per day. Free days. These are the majority of your days, and you can eat whatever you want from the list of Gut Buddy approved foods. Brainwash days. On these days, once or twice per week, you will avoid eating dinner to clear out your brain. Days when you restrict your calorie intake to 600 calories per day, once or twice per week. This is optional. An optional intensive care choice, ideal for anyone already suffering from degenerative problems, includes more fasting days and more brainwash days. During your fasting days, you shouldn't eat any dairy products, grains or pseudo-grains, fruits, seeded vegetables, any sources of sugar, unapproved seeds, soy products, eggs, nightshade plants, corn, soy, vegetable oils, canola oil, meat, chicken, or animal products. During your brainwash days, you must ensure that your body has finished digesting the last meal you ate, which should be 4 hours before you sleep. All of this helps your lymphatic system wash out your brain. At the same time, you sleep and avoid a toxic buildup of amyloid, which is responsible for those memory problems and degenerative diseases. You also need to make some significant lifestyle changes. The longevity paradox isn't all about eating the right foods and avoiding the bad ones. It's about lifestyle changes too. Stephen Gundry states that stressing your cells just a little is a good thing because it forces them to think there is a threat when there isn't one. It's important not to stress them out too much, as this is when those inflammatory responses kick in. However, by adding a little stress, you're promoting autophagy, which we've already established is a good thing. Make sure that you get enough sleep and incorporate meditation into your routine if you can. Remember to exercise more often, with resistance and cardio workouts. It's also important to head outside and get as much fresh air as you can and try a steam room or sauna to stress those cells just the right amount. You could even try to take a Scottish shower once a week. This means having a warm shower and then gradually cooling it down until the last couple of minutes is only cold water. A few healthy lifestyle changes will make a massive difference to your health and how you feel about yourself. You'll have more energy and find that you're more productive as a result. If you do not exercise regularly, it's time to change that. Start slowly and build up to a routine that feels comfortable to you. If you've rarely exercised before, chat with your doctor to get the green light before making drastic changes. Conclusion. By understanding that the overwhelming majority of information on how you age is based in the gut, you can turn everything around to a significant positive. Look after your gut buddies, feed them what they like, avoid what they don't like, add in a few lifestyle factors, and you'll feel and look amazing as a result. It doesn't sound straightforward at first, but you can break it down to be as simple as that. While most information on bacteria and how the body works can seem overwhelming, it all falls swiftly into place once you understand the basics. Much of it comes down to making sensible food choices and moving your body more. Of course, it's slightly more in-depth than that, but the more you practice the longevity paradox, the easier it will become until it's second nature, and you follow it without even thinking. We've been tricked into thinking that our health is all about fad diets, never a good idea, calorie control, and extreme exercise routines, again, not a good idea. It's not. While making healthy changes is positive, it comes down to the state of your microbiome at any given time. If your gut isn't healthy and happy, the rest of your health will slide, which affects how you feel within yourself. It's impossible to be happy while your stomach is bloated and gives you that uncomfortable feeling as you go about your day. By focusing on your microbiome, you're actually changing the entire picture of your health. Focus your attention on your gut buddies and make them your best friends. Try this. Kick out the foods that cause inflammatory responses and unhealthy occurrences within your gut. Exercise regularly and head outside for fresh air. Follow the longevity paradox for just 1 month at first and see how great it feels. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. If you've enjoyed our summary, consider picking up the full book for a more in-depth exploration. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing. Thanks for watching.